Ma'am, done.
Done. Okay, third part of the same problem. This is 0.6, right? Then 1.7 and 2.8. Now you try it yourself and quickly find the sum of, okay, 100 terms you have to find. So S100. Okay, now solve it and tell me that are you able to solve it or not. Yes, Hamna. Should I do it?
No, ma'am, I'm doing.
Okay.
Ma'am, 5,505.
55505, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, that is right. So you can complete the other two parts same way. Now come the second question. Now second question is that find the sum given below, right? So any part I can take. So let me take the second part here. So this is 34 plus 32 plus 30 and plus up to 10, right? Uh, so what is A? A is 34, right? And how much is D? That is 32 minus of 34, that is minus of 2 in this problem. Now, so there is one issue, you don't know N. Understood? Like in the first question, it was given that find the sum of 10 terms or 100 terms. But here you don't know N. How many terms you want to find? So what will you put N in the formula? Understood? So the first step is to find N. Now, how will you find N? Now, in this problem, you can see the last term is given, right? So you can assume it that let the last term is your nth term, right? Let an is equal to 10. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you don't know n. So you take it as an nth term. So a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 10. You can find n from here. So put 34 plus into d is minus of 2 is equal to 10, right? So it is 34, okay, Okay. N minus 1 into minus of 2 is 10 minus 34 is minus of 24. So minus sign I can take common from both the sides. So only n minus 1 into 2 is equal to 24. So n minus 1 is equal to 12 and n is 12 plus 1, 13, right? So I have got my n. So now I have to find S13, right? So start with the formula. Sn is equal to n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Now S13 will be 13 by 2, 2 into 34 plus 13 minus 1 is 12 into d is minus of 2. So you can solve it, right? So understood? So in all the 4 parts, first of all, you will find all the 3 parts. First of all, you will find n like this, and then you will be able to find the sum.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, now next question. So I'm leaving the calculation that you can complete later on. Third question. So third question is, it is having 10 parts and all are different. Let's take the first part. So A is equal to 5, D is equal to 3, and N is equal to 50. You have to find N, you have to find Sn, right? So few things will be given. Ultimately, you are having only 2 formula in the chapter. One is N and one is Sn, right? So you have to revolve around these 2 formulas only. Now you start with the given information. So this is given to me, right? So I start with the An formula. So An is A plus n minus 1 into d. Let's see what I have here. So An is 50 and A is also given plus n minus 1, d is also given, right? You solve it for n. 50 minus 5 is 45 and then divided by 3 is equal to n minus 1. This is 15 plus 1. So n is equal to 16, right? I've got my n. Then you can find S16 by putting n is equal to 16 in the formula. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm leaving it like this. I think you will be able to solve it. These are all calculations that you can complete yourself. Quickly I have done. So I have skipped some steps. So do it accordingly. So once you get n, you start with the formula n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Put everything here and find S16. So it will be 16 by 2 and so on, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now second part. Now a is equal to 7 and A13 is equal to 35 and you have to find D, you have to find S13, right? Now D is not given, but something is given. So we start with this information. What is An? An is A plus N minus 1 into D. Now A13 will be A plus 13 minus 1 into D, right? Now A13 is given, that is 35 is equal to A is also given plus 12 into D. So this will give me D. 35 minus 7 is 28 is equal to 12 into D. And this will be how much? 7 by 3 is equal to D, right? 4 into 7 is 28 and 4 into 3 is 12. So D is 7 by 3. Now S13 you can find. So what is Sn? Sn is n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into D, right? So S13 will be 13 by 2 into 2 into A is 7 plus 13 minus 1 into D is again 7 by 3, right? So you can complete it and solve for S13. right? Now
Yes, ma'am.
third part now. Now A is also not given. So in this part D is given. A is not given but D is given. So it is again similar kind of problem. Now D is 3, right? A you don't know. S12 you have to find, right? Again you start with the AN formula. So AN is A plus N minus 1 into T, right? Now A12 will become A12 you know, that is 37 is equal to A you don't know plus 11, D you know, that is 3. So you can solve it for A, right? So 37 minus 33 will be 4. So A is equal to 4. Now you know A, you know D, you know everything. You can find S12, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fourth part. Now what is given that A3 is equal to 15 and S of 10 is equal to 125. Find D you don't know, and A10. Right. Now in this problem, A is also not given, D is also not given, right? Both are not given, but two information are given. So we start with the first information, which is about A3. So you start with the formula A plus N minus 1 into D. So A3 will become A plus 3 minus 1 into D. Now A3 is given, that is 15 is equal to A, I don't know, plus 2, D, I don't know. So this is one equation, right? You cannot solve it because you don't know A, you don't know D. Leave it. Now you start with the second information, that is S. So put the formula N by 2, 2A plus N minus 1 into D. So S10 will become 10 by 2 into 2 into A, I don't know, 10 minus 1 into D, I don't know. So that becomes now S10 is 125 is equal to, this is 5 into 2A plus 90, right? And you divide this by 5. So 2 and then 25 is equal to 2A plus 90, right? Equation number 2. So you have got linear equation in two variables. So there are two variables, so you have two equations. So you can solve them and find A and D, right? Yes, Hamna.
Yes, ma'am.
Now can you solve the two equations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can use substitution method also and elimination also, whichever you want. If you are using elimination, so multiply equation 1 by 2 to make it 2A, right? Or you can use substitution method also. So this will give you A is equal to 15 minus of 2D. Now put this value of A in second and solve it. Putting in second. Now 25 is equal to 2 into 15 minus of 2D and then plus 90, right? This way also you can solve it. So 25 is equal to 30 minus 4D plus 9D. 25 minus 30 is minus 5 is equal to, this is 5D and D is equal to, 5D minus 1, right? So you have got your D, then you can find A. Now A is not asked in the question, right? Only D is asked. So I've got my D, but I have to find A10. So the formula is again AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D, right? So ultimately I will be requiring A. So you have to find A also. So directly put your D here. So this will give you a is equal to 15 minus 2 into minus 1. So this will give you a is equal to 15 plus 2, that is 17. So a is 17. Then you can find a10. a10 is put a, there's 17 plus 10 minus 1 into d is minus 1. 17 and then minus 9. So a is equal to how much? 8, right? a10 is 8.
Ma'am,
Done.
done.
Okay. Now next part, that is fifth one. Now a is given and d is also given, right? But Sn is 90. Find n and an, right? Now a and d are given. So you start with this information. So my formula is Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, right? So Sn is 90. So 90 is equal to n by 2 into 2 into a is given. So whatever is given, you put it here. D is given. Now solve it. So this is 90 into 2 is equal to n into 4 plus multiply this 8n minus 8, right? So 90 into 2 is equal to n into, so this is 8n minus 4, right? So I can take 4 common. 90 into 2 is equal to n into 4. I can take common. So 2n minus 1, right? So that becomes 90 into 2 divided by 4 is equal to n into 2n minus 1, right? So this will be how much? 4 into, yeah, so 2 into 45 is equal to, you open the bracket now, so 2n square minus n. So that becomes 0 is equal to 2n square minus n minus of 45. So you have got a quadratic equation this time. You have to solve this quadratic equation for n, right? So you can use that splitting of the middle term. So 2 into 45 you have to factorize. So that means 90. So 2 into 45, then 3 into 1 and 5, then 3 into 5, and then 5 into 1, right? I want to get minus n. So which combination I should take? 5 into 2 is 10. 10 and 9 I can take, right? 0 is equal to 2n square minus of 10n plus of 9n, because I want minus n, minus of 45. So 0 is equal to 2n, n minus 5. Then plus I can take 9 common and n minus of 5, right? So 0 is equal to n minus of 5 into 2n plus 9. Equate both the factors to 0. N minus of 5 is equal to 0. And 2n plus 9 is equal to 0. So this gives me n is equal to 5. This gives me n is equal to minus of 9 by 2. 9 by 2. Or you can write minus 4.5. Fine, Amna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now n is what? N is number of term, right? So this is n is equal to 5 and this is n is equal to minus of 4.5. So this value is not acceptable value because either it is fourth term or it is fifth term. You're counting the terms, right? There is no 4.5th term. Understood? This value will be rejected. So your n is equal to 5. So you have got n. Now an you can find. So a5 you can find now, right? Right? An is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Put n is equal to 5. A and d you already know. Put find a5. Yes, done, Amna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next part. Sixth one.
Ma'am, we just did the sixth part.
Mm, okay, 6 we have done. So have I skipped some part here?
Ma'am, you skipped fifth part.
Fifth I have done, right? Oh, in place of fourth, I did sixth actually. The fourth part I have skipped. So I think fourth you can do, right? Fourth I have done. Anyway,
Ma'am, you skipped the fifth part.
right. Hmm. Sorry, I did the sixth one. So fifth, let us do fifth. So D is equal to 5, right? And then S of 9 is given, that is 75. You have to find A and you have to find A9. So again, something is given, you start with this information. So use Sn is equal to n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into t, right? So S9 is 9 by 2, 2 into a, I don't know, so 2a plus n is now 9 minus 1, d I know. So this can be solved for a, and S9 is also given, that is 75 is equal to 9 by 2, 2a plus 8 into 5 is 40, right? So you can take 2 common, so 75 is equal to 9 and 2 common, so this denominator 2 will go away, so this will be a plus 40, right? Okay, so 75 divided by 9 is equal to a plus 40. Am I right? Am I doing it correct? Yes, I think so. So 75 is divisible by 9? No, 74 is divisible. Yes, you can divide this by 3 if you wish. So 3 into 2 is 6 and then 15. So 25 divided by 3 is equal to a plus 40. Is this correct? So you can do like 25 divided by 3 minus of 40 is equal to a. Now these are fractions, so take LCM. 25 minus 3 into 4 is 12 is equal to a. So that becomes how much? 10 minus 5 is 5, and then you have 11 minus 2. So minus of 95 by 3 is equal to a. So this is my a I'm getting. I think there's some mistake here. Can you spot the mistake? Somewhere calculation mistake I have done. Let me do it again. Just a minute. D is equal to 5, right? And S9 is 75. Is this correct? Is this what is given?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I start with the formula that Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, right? Now S of 9 becomes 9 by 2 into 2a plus 9 minus 1 into d, right? So S9 is 75 is equal to 9 by 2 into 2 into a plus this is 8 into d is 5, right? Okay, so 75, if I just, can I write like this, is equal to 2a plus 40, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So on the right hand side also, if I take a 2 common, right? So this 2 will cancel out. So only 75 by 9 will remain. This side a plus 20. Is this correct? I think it's
Yes,
correct. Yeah, okay. So 75, uh, can I reduce it to, if I divide this by 3, so it will be 3 into 2 is 6 and then 15. So 3 into 5, 25 by 3 is equal to a plus 20, right? Yeah, this is correct. Last time I was getting a plus 40, so that was the mistake, I think. 25 by 3 minus of 20 is equal to a. Now you take LCM. So 25 minus 3 into 2 is 60 is equal to a. And then 60 minus 25 is 35. Minus of 35 divided by 3 is equal to a. So that is my a, right? And you have to find a and a9. So an is a plus n minus 1 into d. Find a9, a plus 9 minus 1 into d. So put a and d now. So minus of 35 divided by 3 plus this is 8 into d is 5. Again minus of 35 by 3 and then plus 40. So take LCM. Again 3 and then minus of 35 plus 3 into 4 is 12. Now you subtract. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 11 minus 3 is how much? 8, right? Minus of 85 by 3 is your A9. No, it should be plus, right? 120 is positive. 85 by 3. I mean, the larger number is positive, so it will be plus 85 by 3. Done?
done, ma'am.
Okay. Next. 6 we have done, now 7. A is equal to 8 is given, right? An is given, that is 62. Sn is given, that is 210. You have to find n, you have to find d. Sorry, I actually, today I'm not well. Okay, so Anyway, two informations are given. One is an, one is sn. So we will make use of both the information. So I start with the an formula. An is a plus n minus 1 into t, right? So an is 62. So whatever you know, you put it. Okay, 62 is equal to a, I know, that is 8 plus n minus 1. D, I don't know. So leave it, right? So I can do one thing, that I can take at least this 8 here. So 62 minus 8 is equal to n minus 1 into d, right? How much is 62 minus 8? 56. No,
Ma'am, 54.
n minus 1 into d. Now two things I don't know, so I cannot solve it further, right? So I'm just leaving it here. I don't know what will happen, but let's leave it here. So you start with the second information, that is Sn. So start with the Sn formula. Sn is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Now Sn is 210. So 210 is n by 2 into 2 into a is 8, right? Plus n minus 1 into d also, I don't know. So 210, and then if I multiply by 2, it's equal to n into 2 into 8 is 16 plus n minus 1 into d, right? If I just put the value of n minus 1 into d from equation number 1, will it work? Yes. Because from 1, I can put n minus 1 into d is equal to 54. Ultimately, you have to combine the two information, right? So I'm solving it like this, into n into 16 plus. Now in place of this whole thing, I'm writing 54 from 1. Is that okay, Amna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I can solve it for n now. So 210 into 2 is equal to n into, this is 10 and this is 70, right? So 210 into 2 divided by 70 is equal to n. So 0 cancels out, and 7 into 3, 3 into 2 is 6. So 6 is equal to n. Is this okay? So n is equal to 6, I have got. Now I want d. So for d, you can use, again use this formula for an. So coming back to the formula, now an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, right? Now this time you know n. So if I put a6, um, is equal to, okay, a I know, a is 8 plus n I know now, 6 minus 1 into d I don't know. Now what is this a6? A6 is 62, isn't it? Because an is 62, n is 6, so a6 is 62, right?
Yes, ma'am.
8 plus this is 5 into d. So 62 minus 8 is again 54, is equal to, or I could have used the equation number 1 directly, isn't it? No need of going back to it. And I know I want to find d. So from 1 you can find it directly, because the same thing I'm doing, right? I'm arriving here ultimately. So 54 is equal to n I know. So 6 minus 1 into d. So 54 divided by 5 is equal to d. So that's my d. You can convert it into fraction if you wish, because it is easy to divide by 5. So 5 into 5, then 5 into 0, and then 40. So 5 into 8 is 40. This is your d.
Ma'am, done.
Okay. Now this same problem can be solved in different way also, Amna. Right? Basically, the one problem can be solved in more than one way. Now here, if I consider it like this, for example, in this problem, what is given to me? That a is equal to 8, right? And an is given, that is 62, right? I don't know n, right? But the sum of n terms is given to me, 210. So can I just consider this as my last term? Because I don't know n.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting it? Because ultimately I want to find the number of terms. And I know that nth term already. Also the sum I know. So I can use this n by 2 into a plus an or l, whatever you want to write, right? This time your last term is actually your nth term. Is that okay? So Sn you know, only n you don't know, a you know, an you know. You can directly solve for n from here. That depends upon your understanding. This method is also correct, right? This is also correct. So whatever comes to your mind, you can solve it that way. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you are able to understand this thing, that ultimately you want to find the number of terms, and that exactly nth term you already know. So that is basically your last term, isn't it? So you can directly use the last term formula. Okay, eighth part now. Now an is already given, that is 4. D is given. Sn is minus of 14. You have to find n, you have to find a. Okay. Now this time, if now this thing is coming to your mind, that Sn is n by 2 a plus al or an, right? Now I don't know a this time, isn't it? In this problem, I don't know a, and also I don't know n, so I cannot solve it, right, Hamna?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so I cannot start from here. So I always start whatever is given. So it is given, right? So start with this formula. So n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. And whatever is given to you, just obtain an equation and let's see what is given. So Sn is given, that is minus of 14, and I don't know. 2 into a also I don't know, plus n minus 1 into d is given, that is 2, right? So I can take 2 common from the bracket. So it will be minus 14 is equal to n into a plus n minus 1. Is that okay? You leave it here because there are two variables, a and n. I don't know. So I do something else. Now d is given. No, d is given. Okay, one more thing is given, that an is equal to 4, isn't it? So I can start with the an formula also. So an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, correct? Now an is given, that is 4 is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d is 2. So 4 is equal to okay, 4 is equal to a plus, just open the bracket, so 2n minus 2, right? So 4 is equal to, or 4 plus 2, that is 6 is equal to a plus 2n, right? You can also solve this, I think, before marking it 1, solve it further. Mm, Okay, no need. Leave it. So from here, okay, so this is now 6 is equal to a plus 2n. So I can obtain one variable from here. Let's say a is equal to 6 minus of 2n. Now this is my 2. Is that okay? So I have obtained the value of one variable. Fine, Amna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm putting this value of a in equation number 1. So putting second in 1. Right. So now you come back to your equation number 1. So what does it become now? So minus of 14 is equal to n into. Now in place of a, I'm writing 6 minus of 2n and then plus n minus 1, right? So minus of 14 is equal to n into 6 minus 1 is 5, minus 2n plus n is minus of n, right? Okay. So minus of 14 is equal to multiply, so 5n minus of n square. Now bring them here. So minus 14 minus of 5n plus n square is equal to 0. And just write it in the standard form. So n square minus of 5n minus of 14 is equal to 0. So this time this is a quadratic equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c, right? You can solve it for n. Right? So ultimately what I have done is I was given two information. So I have obtained one value from this information. I have put it here and I have solved it for something. Is that okay? So this is how you have to approach the problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now just solve it for n. Do prime factorization of 14. 7 into 2, right? So n square minus of 7n plus of 2n minus of 14 is equal to 0, right? So n is n minus 7 plus 2n minus 7 is equal to 0. So I have n minus 7 into n plus 2 is equal to 0, right? So that means I have n is equal to 7 and n is equal to minus of 2. Again, this value will be rejected because number of term cannot be negative, right? So
Yes,
n,
ma'am.
n is equal to 7 only. So I have got n. Now for a, come back to equation number 2. So from 2, you can find a. A is equal to 6 minus 2n, right? So 6 minus 2 into 7, that is 6 minus of 14, and that is equal to how much? Minus of 8. So Hamna, please give it a try to other parts as well. So ultimately, either you will get linear equation in two variable, so that you can solve by substitution method also, as I have solved, or by elimination, whatever you wish. Or ultimately, you will get a quadratic equation that also you know how to solve, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So please complete question number 3 if you can, and we will discuss in the next class. Also, question number 4, note down your homework. Question number 4, it's easy, you can do it. 5th also, this is again, we have done similar kind of question. Try 6th also, at least these 3 you have to try in your homework. Okay. 4, 5, 6. And question number 3.